welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Just going to do a wee quick update of the very recent Brendan Rodgers press conference and also a short press conference interview with Paulo Bernardo. Big news coming out of Brendan Rodgers' press conference is that Alistair Johnston has a suspected skull fracture. Looks like he has fractured the temporal bone of his skull, which is the bone to the side of the skull, in the region of the jaw and the ear and the area behind that. He's having a scan to confirm the injury, the fact that he was injured on Wednesday and we're now having a scan on Friday suggests that it's more of a hairline fracture on any skull x-rays, and would also suspect that he's not suffered any of the significant potential complications of a head injury. From personal knowledge, this area of injury can be simply managed conservatively, just allowed to heal naturally. However, there is the possibility with this injury of damaging the nerve that runs through that region to the face, which can cause problems with numbness in the face, speech, and also the other main complication with this sort of injury can be damage to the hearing and damage to the balance system. And so clearly the time that Alistair Johnston's going to be out will vary depending on what the CT scan shows of his potential skull fracture. And he may, if there is any damage to the hearing system, balance system, or the facial nerve, he may need surgery from that, which obviously would keep him out for even longer. So I think we have to resign ourselves that Johnston's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks and could well be out several weeks if there's any requirement for surgery or additional treatment, and so clearly will not be in the team on Sunday against St Mirren, and so one would expect that Anthony Ralston will carry on at right back. Rodgers said categorically that CCV won't be fit and ready for the game on Sunday. However, he is back training with the other players. Greg Taylor is close to being fit to play on Sunday, but Rodgers didn't commit him as being fit to play on Sunday against St Mirren, and I suspect that with Burnaby having had a relatively good game against Hibs on Wednesday, that Greg Taylor will be held back for the Kilmarnock game the following weekend. There was no questioning as to whether Tomoki Iwata was fit, nor was there any questioning as to whether Welsh was fit either. From the pictures from Lanarkstown training today, Iwata was participating fully in training, but I did not see any sign of Welsh today, and so I would also suspect that Welsh will be out on Sunday as well. Likely meaning that Novrocky and Scales will start again together in central defence with Ralston on one side and Burnaby on the other, and I would suspect in that case Gustav Lagerbielke being on the bench, as he can obviously cover central defence but also can play at right back. And so hopefully he and Brendan Rodgers have mended their bridges, and that Gustav Lagerbielke is fully committed and ready to play for Celtic, at least for the remainder of this season, and then any transfers away or loans away can be reconsidered, or Brendan Rodgers may be convinced to give Lagerbielke a deserved chance in the team. Rodgers also said that both Yang and O are back from the Asian Cup, with South Korea having been knocked out in the semis. Yang came on as a sub in that game, but Oh was an unused sub. Both Yang and Oh, however, are fully fit, took full part in training, and so will be available for the squad on Sunday. And I can certainly see our bench having both Oh and Kyogo and Yang, as Oh does cover a variety of positions and styles up front. And I think Yang, maybe with the confidence of a few games in the Asian Cup, may come back an improved player with more confidence, as his form before Christmas was a wee bit in and out, with a few good games and a few pretty awful games. Rodgers also was stating that Celtic's form had actually been good, that admittedly that the performances against Ross County and against Hibs had both fallen away. Um, he was saying that he wanted Celtic to play with attack and aggression and pace um, the whole way through a game. Did say that they'd started both the Ross County game and the Aberdeen game and the Hibs game, all with good aggression and attack in the first half, but fallen away in the second half of all those three games. But was feeling positive in that Celtic had rallied to get the 3 points on Wednesday, against Hibs, and was hoping that this would restore confidence in the players, and that he was expecting St Mirren to play quite a defensive setup on Sunday, closing down closing down space, closing down the ball, and making it difficult for Celtic to break them down. However, he was enthusiastic and positive, given that we beat them quite comfortably just before the winter break. And on the whole, Rodgers was saying all the right things, talking about Celtic bringing their A game to the game on Sunday against St Mirren, acknowledging that it's going to be a difficult fixture, but difficult fixtures need to be overcome if you're on the way to the Cup, and was saying that he and the team were all aiming towards the final, so saying all the right things. Also, was very full of praise for Adam Ida as to how quickly he has settled into the team, how quickly he's adapting to Celtic's pressing style of football, and also his need to get in behind the defence, and was also very praising of Ida's composure and calmness, taking the penalty early in the game, and also, more importantly, the penalty in stoppage time, which gave us the victory against Hibs. And so, Rodgers saying all the right things. As before, I get rather frustrated in that none of the journalists really follow things up, asking why Celtic aren't playing consistently with pace, aggression, confidence, why the players are nervous, why are players like Kyogo and Callum McGregor all playing under par this season compared to how well they played under Ange last season, and quite why Celtic's we never stop attitude of playing from whistle to whistle, why that seems to have fallen by the wayside, why Celtic seem to be playing much more lateral football than getting the ball forward and continuing to press and press and press and harry. But nobody in the group of journalists at the press conference thought to ask Rodgers any form of follow-up, which is rather frustrating, because those are the key questions rather than all these softball questions and vague answers that Rodgers is so good at giving. There was also a wee interesting press conference with Paulo Bernardo. He too was acknowledging that the players had not come back from the winter break on full form. He said these sorts of things happened, but they were working hard in training, that Rodgers and the coaching staff had been analysing those games and passing on advice and tips and training for them. He was acknowledging also the fact that Celtic need to finish their chances better, and that at the moment they're requiring too many chances to get one goal, and so he was saying that this was something that they were working on and something that they were very conscious of. He also was praising his teammates such as Cameron Carter-Vickers, Callum McGregor, more experienced players, regarding the fact that seasons are a long time and that form and fixture end results can come and go, and that it's important to try and keep performances up and build on the confidence from the late win against Hibs and to try to get back to the good form that Celtic had around the Christmas and New Year, where we had a string of good performances, such as against Dundee, Rangers, and then St Mirren. And then, unfortunately, we had the mid-season winter break, and it does appear that Celtic have come back a wee bit slower, a wee bit less confidence, and have unfortunately picked up another few injuries to complicate matters as well. So that just about finishes up our little review of Brendan Rodgers' press conference. I will be doing a pre-game preview tomorrow morning for the St Mirren match on Sunday. Just thought I would give you a wee update on the poll in the community section regarding how the viewers and subscribers of the channel are rating Brendan Rodgers. We're on day 4, and I thought I would keep the poll going until day 7. I've done a wee short video just summarising the results, but for those who haven't watched that or don't like short videos, thus far the results are, in terms of our ratings, 6% say that Rodgers is an excellent or elite manager, 11% say that Rodgers is a great manager, 35% say that Rodgers is a good manager, 29% average manager, and 20% of us think he's a poor manager. And so I think that's probably a pretty reasonable analysis. I would say he does lie in the average to good bracket, and that certainly is what 64% of our audience, or approximately 2/3 of the audience, that reckons. I'm a wee bit surprised that people are putting him up in the excellent elite market or the great market. I don't think that's quite where we are as a team. I don't think that's quite where Rodgers is as a manager on his performance this season. I think possibly saying that he's a poor manager is a little bit unfair, but everybody is fully entitled to their opinion, and there have been some nice debates, discussions on the merits of Rodgers, the factors that are helping him and hindering him, and the factors that people feel that he should be overcoming, given the fact that he is on £3 million a year, which makes him considerably higher paid than even our highest players, such as Callum McGregor, who is on somewhere between 1.5 and 2 million per year, and players such as CCV, Kyogo, O'Reilly, etc., who are said to be somewhere in the £1 million to £1.5 million per year, depending on which source you believe on the internet. So, interesting little poll so far. As I said, I'll keep it going for another 3 days, so it's been open for a whole week. And then at the end of that, if there are any further votes, I'll update everybody on the final results in a few days' time. So that finishes things off for this Friday afternoon video. No other stories or news to report. For anyone new to the channel watching these videos for the first time, do feel free to click that subscribe button. Do have a wee look at all the other videos as well to get a general flavour of the variety on the channel. Remembering also there's a daily trivia question for those who like those sorts of things, and I do try and do fairly regular polls of the viewers and subscribers on issues surrounding Celtic. So, as always, do feel free to click the like button as well. It does help with the channel's analytics with YouTube. And as always, do feel free to pop your own thoughts regarding this video, regarding the injury recovery periods, and also any other Celtic thoughts into the comment section, and I'll reply and discuss as and when I can in the comment section or in future videos. So for today, goodbye and hail, hail!